Let me ask you something that's been on my mind. Have you ever looked at the world, really looked, and wondered why some people, good people, people with potential, get caught up in following the wrong crowd? Why they stray from their own values and get pulled into something they later regret? Sometimes it starts so small, so subtly, you barely even notice it happening, a joke at someone's expense, a seemingly harmless jab that stings more than you realize. A lie that no one notices, a little white lie you tell to fit in, to avoid confrontation. A shortcut you know you shouldn't take, a bending of the rules that seems insignificant at the time. And before you know it, before you've had a chance to really think about it, you're standing at a crossroads, a pivotal moment. One path leading towards light, towards growth, towards becoming the best version of yourself. The other, well, it's darker than you can imagine, a path shrouded in shadow and uncertainty. Picture this scene. You're hanging out with a group of friends, people you care about and trust. Everyone's laughing, sharing stories, the vibe is perfect, comfortable and familiar. Then, out of nowhere, someone suggests doing something you know isn't right, something that makes you pause. Maybe it's cheating on a test, compromising your integrity for a better grade. Maybe it's hurting someone, either physically or emotionally, causing pain to another person. Maybe it's just breaking the rules for fun, engaging in reckless behavior without considering the consequences. You feel that twist in your gut, that uncomfortable sensation, the quiet voice inside your head, your conscience saying, don't do it. This isn't who you are. But everyone else is doing it, and you don't want to be left out. You crave that sense of belonging and acceptance, right? Trust me, I've been there, standing at that same crossroads, feeling that same pressure. And I'll tell you a secret, something I've learned from experience. Following evil, even just once, even if it seems insignificant, never leads to a happy ending. It always leaves a mark. It might seem harmless at first, a small transgression that won't have any real impact, but every decision you make, every action you take, is like a ripple in a pond, expanding outwards. You can't always see where it goes, you can't predict the full extent of its reach, but it always goes somewhere, impacting things in ways you might not realize. One wrong step, one compromise, can lead to another, creating a slippery slope. And before you know it, you're far from who you wanted to be, lost in a maze of your own making. But here's the real catch, the most important thing to remember. No matter how far down the wrong path you go, no matter how many mistakes you've made, you can always turn around. It's never too late to change direction. It's not weakness to say no. It's not a sign of failure to admit you were wrong. In fact, it takes more strength and more courage, more self-awareness and conviction to stand up and walk away, to choose your own path, than it does to blend in and follow along, to simply go with the flow. Every time you choose what's right, every time you stand up for what you believe in, you grow a little braver, a little stronger, you build your character and your resilience, and the world gets a little brighter, just because you refuse to follow evil, just because you chose to do the right thing. So next time you're at that crossroads, facing a difficult decision, next time you feel that twist in your gut, that warning sign that something isn't right, remember this: your choices matter, you matter. Your actions have consequences both for yourself and for others, and you have the power to choose the light, to choose kindness, to choose integrity, even when it's the harder path, even when it means standing alone. It's not about being perfect, about never making mistakes. We all stumble and fall. It's about trying every day to be better than you were yesterday, to learn from your mistakes and grow. When you do that, you inspire others, you give them hope. You show them it's possible to break the cycle of negativity, to choose a different path. Because in the end, the world isn't changed by people who follow blindly, by those who simply conform. It's changed by people who lead, by those who dare to stand up and speak out, with kindness, with empathy, with a genuine desire to help others, with courage, with the willingness to face adversity and stand up for what's right, and with hope, with the unwavering belief that a better future is possible. So don't follow evil. Don't let fear or peer pressure dictate your choices. Be the reason someone else chooses good. Be a beacon of light in a world that often feels dark. Thanks for listening, for taking the time to reflect on these important ideas. Stay strong, stay kind, and keep shining your light. The world needs it more than ever.